Carter's Cocktails, Slate. Welcome to Carter's Cocktails. My next guest today needs no introduction. She is the icon. She is the housewife of all housewives. She is the attorney that I have on speed dial in case I'm in a bind. Miss Phaedra Parks, everybody.
When it comes to my family, I'm the judge and the jury.
Hey, Carter! Oh, mwah, mwah. I am so excited that you're here.
No, I'm so excited to see you
No,
again.
like, actually, I'm freaking out because...
Don't freak out.
No, because this is, you guys, this is the Phaedra Parks. I mean, come on. I get into it. Look at this fit. Look at the hair. Look at everything. Woo! The shoes.
Yes.
Phaedra, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
You're just everything. When we met
Yes.
last year at the Amazon event,
Yes.
we had a love connection.
Yeah,
we really
connection instantly.
did. It was instant. We talked. You were so welcoming, so warm. I feel like it's the southern thing.
Definitely. And you're Cancer, I'm a Scorpio,
Yes.
so we are just our
We're kindred
energies like
spirits.
yes.
Yes. This is my girl. We're locked in.
Locked and loaded.
Today, we are going to make some very fun mocktails, and I have some funny names for them. And I want you to choose which one you want us to make, okay?
Give me these names.
Okay, so the first one is called the Check That Tequila.
Okay.
Now check that.
But there's gonna be no tequila in that one because it's a mocktail. And the second one is called the Donkey Booty Daiquiri,
Oh, yes.
which is just gonna be something that's a mocktail with some strawberries. Because that's all we're gonna work with today.
Well, I love a donkey booty.
We love a donkey booty. You know, people telling me that I've been getting that ass be getting fat lately.
Well, you know what? You got a cute little tight ass. This
Thank
is,
you.
it's
Thank you.
firm.
I'll be doing my squats.
For real.
Aw, thank you so much.
Okay.
Might not be able to see too much of these jeans, but
But
maybe.
no, I can see you working with a little something.
Wow, thank
Just
you.
a
The
little
boys be looking.
And they better be.
Hashtag Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Can we just start from the beginning?
Oh, yes.
Your housewives journey, how did it start? Because you're an attorney,
yes.
and I'm like, how did they get you to say yes all those years ago?
Well, okay, so I had a relationship with Andy because I had met him when I worked for Bobby and Whitney.
Right, okay.
And Bravo had the B and Bobby Brown show. And who knew years later they would have the Housewives, and so I was the attorney for some of the cast back then. And they said, you know what? Have you ever thought about doing it? And I thought, I didn't really watch the show, but I thought it was a good show, but it needed some of the other elements from Atlanta, like, extremely educated
Yes.
Atlanta. And, sort of the rest is history.
What was your first thought about entering that environment? Because that's an intense environment.
Because we didn't have a blueprint, you didn't know what you were in. But I knew them all in real life.
Right.
So
right.
that it was comfortable because I knew them.
Yeah. That's a good way to start. You didn't completely
Yeah,
jump
I
into the
wasn't a
lion's
stranger
den.
to any of them.
Yeah.
So it was like I knew them. And so I just walked in sort of like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what to expect. But none of us knew because we were all like doing it real time. But also, there was no other shows that really put Black women in
So
that
true.
role.
So true.
And so we had to do what we really did. So it wasn't like we could watch anyone.
Right.
So we are the blueprint.
You are the blueprint, 100%.
You
But
are the blueprint.
you came onto that show with such confidence and conviction. So when you say deer in headlights, I'm like, what? What deer in headlights? You walked on and you owned that. You
had
did. No
to.
one could tell you nothing. Okay, wait. Let's cheers to our donkey booty daiquiri.
No BBLs here. Oh, this is tasty.
Isn't it good?
That's tasty. I thought it was gonna be bad.
That's what. Before we start rolling, I said, okay, we're gonna try this. And she goes, where are you from? And I was like, North Carolina. She's like, okay, you've got some taste, making
Exactly.
sure. I told you it was gonna be good.
'Cause, California can be a little
Can be a little iffy on their taste.
Missing a little
Sometimes it tries to
seasoning.
get a little too healthy
Yeah.
and things turn out
Yeah.
bland.
Yeah.
How do we feel about being back on Atlanta?
I feel great. I mean, I did it for so long. Obviously, I left, and that was a great break because it allowed me to do other things and really reinvent myself.
Right.
And really find peace because, you know, reality TV can be toxic sometimes.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure. So, I mean, coming back, it's been a good time.
Yeah. And how was the vibe different from your OG? Because I'm a little biased, I guess, because watching the OG cast when it was you and Sheree and Nene and Kim and Kenya, Portia, I'm like, these are the golden years. This is the all-star cast. Seeing so many incredibly intelligent and successful, prominent Black women on television like that was so inspiring to me. Yes. So that's why I'm saying I'm a little biased to the older cast. So how does it compare to this season?
Well, the new ladies are definitely, they're new. And they all bring something totally different.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, people love the Housewives because of the nostalgia. Kim, Nene, they love that era because we were really being ourselves and doing what we really did, Sheree. I mean, so now I think it's not all, people have watched so much reality TV. I think you can sort of morph into people that you might not be because you admire them on television.
That part. See, that's what I feel with the Housewives. Because when you guys came on, it's like you said, everyone was being so authentically themselves and just putting it all out there. But now, with social media, with so much access that we all have, I feel like people have brands to protect, in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
Which I understand.
Well, we understand that.
But I think, do you think that maybe it holds people back from being completely vulnerable and sharing all aspects?
Well, first you got to get some brands.
Right.
Because the people don't know you, girl. You got to get a brand first. So
first you got to have a brand to protect the brand.
Exactly. So it's like,
right.
So that's my thoughts on that. So come in as yourself.
Yeah.
And make people love you.
Right.
And then you can act crazy.
And then you can be.
Because you got people that know you for who you are.
True.
Versus, knowing the personified person that you proclaim to be.
Right. From your older castmates, who do you keep in contact with the most?
Nene.
Love.
Sheree. Marlo. Talk to them all regularly.
Wow.
But Nene, I usually talk to every Sunday. It's very interesting. I guess it's like our, I'm preaching church time. I don't know.
That's your bonding time.
Yeah.
It just makes me so happy because you guys have been through so much.
Together.
All of you guys together have been through so much. So to see that you guys have that strong sisterhood off camera.
Definitely off camera.
I feel like the world is just like, that makes us so happy to hear. It's like the world is healing. Everyone's like, yes, our girls are together. We love. What city do you watch the most outside of Atlanta, if you watch any of the cities?
I watch Salt Lake.
I love Salt Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake is really good.
Love Salt Lake. Who's your favorite from Salt Lake?
Well, I got a couple of favorites.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Meredith Marks.
Love
She's
Meredith.
an attorney. Heather Gay.
Heather's
love her
amazing.
to death.
Lisa Barlow.
Oh gosh,
Love
Queen
Lisa
of Sundance. Lisa.
I'm an only child, and Phaedra just clocked that.
That's why he's spoiled, child.
Phaedra clocked that before we started filming. She was like, oh, that's why you're crazy and spoiled. And there was a quote from last season of Lisa Barlow where I guess they were like leaving Palm Springs and they booked her ticket for her, but it was economy.
Oh my.
And she started freaking out, and she's like,
how
wait.
dreadful.
She was like, you guys, I got to get to the airport. I got to fix my ticket. I can't fly economy.
I don't carry coach, and I don't fly coach. No one wants to be the last one to get off the plane.
And my friends all were sending it to me, and they're like, Carter, this is you. And everyone's like, I think it was like an hour flight, and she was like, no, I can't do it.
Oh my
and I was
gosh,
like,
why would they do that?
Why would they do that? Thank you. I was like, I agree with Lisa Barlow. How rude.
That is so rude. That's so rude and so nasty. In the
So
words of
nasty
Nene.
and so rude.
I don't ever bring anybody around me like that.
So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude.
Who do you think is the most iconic housewife outside of yourself?
It's quite a few of them.
Really are.
I mean, and I have so many that I love, you know, you go to OC, Vicki Gonelson.
I mean, a legend.
Vicki Gonelson,
A legend.
hands down.
Uh-huh.
Queen mother of, you know, the franchises.
You know what I was just watching? Ultimate Girls Trip.
Oh my God, when we went to Bluestone Manor, oh my God,
And
so good.
When you guys are in bed, and Vicki, I'm literally dying. Vicki was like, you know what? I want everyone to know that she died sad. You tell them that she died sad.
If I died right now, tell everybody that she died sad.
She is hilarious.
She is so funny.
hilarious. Wow.
But New York, Dorinda.
I mean,
Dorinda is so hilarious.
You fool.
She is an
Fashion,
icon.
sass. I mean, she
All of
is
it.
the best.
What was it like staying at Bluestone Manor?
I loved it.
You loved it?
And I was in the fish room, the shark room.
You were in the fish room. But you didn't mind the fish room.
Oh my God, no.
It was cute.
It's adorable, but what's
Right.
crazy is...
Not Luann, because Luann was always mad about that fish
Oh my
room.
God. What's crazy is the whole bathroom is from a cruise ship. So the wood is like...
I love that.
you know how the beautiful wood in a yacht is?
Yeah. So she had a theme for
Oh
the
my God,
room.
it is
I think
so
that's so
good.
cute. I love a
I
themed
love
room.
it. I love a theme anything, honey.
Always. It is so funny what a cultural phenomenon Housewives is.
thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? I mean, because really, we were like the lost embryo or the found embryo from Desperate Housewives.
Yes.
That's how it started.
100%.
And you got to think, Desperate Housewives is long gone. Some people might not even remember it.
I never really watched that show.
Oh my God, that was
Do
the
I need
best.
do I need to be on?
Oh, so delicious.
Okay, good. I need a new show, so maybe I'll start
Yeah.
Desperate
No,
Housewives.
oh my God, that was so good.
What was something you said on Real Housewives that you still stand by no matter what?
Shit, everything. 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 I said.
Nothing that you would ever be like, maybe I should have.
No.
Well, I love that. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
'cause
You
this
stand
is
in your
the thing.
conviction.
You know what? You can't live regretting.
Right.
It is what it is. I said it and I said it.
Yep.
And I'll say it again.
Yep.
I said what I said.
What would you say was the biggest drama or controversy you've ever been a part of across any of the shows that you've been on? Because you've been on a couple.
I mean, shit, I've had controversy on all these darn shows. Shit. You want a 1 through 10? I guess, you know what, the hardest thing was, you know, my ex-husband, you know, going to federal prison. And
That was a time.
Yeah.
That was a time.
And, you know, having people, you know, make all these crazy allegations against me. And so that's hard.
How did you deal with that level of stress off camera? Because this is your life.
Yeah.
This is not just for TV.
It was really hard because at that time I was in school in Alabama,
Oh.
in mortuary school, and I was
right.
pregnant with our second child.
Wow.
So it was a lot. I mean, because I would get up every morning and drive from like 4 a.m. to Alabama for school, you know, go to school all day, work at the funeral parlor in the afternoons there. So it was a lot. But I mean,
You are a strong
I am
woman.
a strong black woman.
You are.
I had to
because
fight all my life.
all my life I had to fight. I'm a strong gay man.
I know that's right, honey. Period.
That is a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And you really powered through.
I had to. I didn't have a choice. I learned so much about myself and who my friends were.
Right.
Because, you know, when you have stuff like that happens, you know, people either support you or they run away.
Or they run away.
Because
right.
they're afraid or, you know, they come up with all these reasons why they can't, you know, support you.
Right. I
And
feel
so-
like Erica Jane can relate
Oh my gosh.
with what
Erica,
happened with her.
Teresa.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And you really do find out who your true friends are. And how are you and Apollo today?
I mean, we're good. You know, we co-parent.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is what it is.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, it makes me okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you find it a little aggravating when other ladies may not be as open about their lives on the show?
Well, the problem is you never know.
Right.
Unless you're like me and know all the secrets.
That's what I'm saying. Because I feel like you know the tea. You know the tea. So it's like, Because I'm like, you put it all out there. You're like, this is what's happening in my life. And yeah.
I mean, but that's just really doing what the job requires.
Right.
But you do have people. They got all kind of stuff going on. Court cases, evictions, all kind of stuff. And it is what it is, and they aren't, being truly transparent.
Right.
But I mean, I guess you get to create your narrative.
Yeah.
And I think people can appreciate what I have shared.
Definitely, because you give people so much to relate to. You, for people, have been such an inspiration for so many Black women out there who have gone through even just an ounce of what you've gone through. And they're like, but look at the life that she is still cultivating for herself with 2 beautiful boys and being in so many different professions. I mean, the list goes on and on with you.
Jobs,
mortician, attorney, author, Reiki healer. We're gonna get into all of it.
Oh my gosh, do you like Reiki?
I've never done it before.
Oh man, I
But
wish I would have brought some things.
Wait, so you can like actually?
Oh yeah.
What does Reiki mean? It's like healing of energy?
Yeah, it's just energy healing. Just putting your energy. You've got chakras. You've got your heart chakra. So you've got your.
Can you?
You got all these chakras, and so sometimes we get out of sync because of either other people's energy or just whatever's going on with you.
Can you feel someone's energy now that you are? Like,
I could feel it before I became a Reiki healer.
Really?
I mean, but you can too. You know how you walk in a room and it just doesn't feel right?
Yes.
Or you know how you say, she's a little dark.
Yep.
That's bad energy.
That's actually what you said one time about Kenya. You said, she's a little weird. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
Ain't clean, baby.
Something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
Daddy. Daddy.
Can you rank which housewife you would like to film with the most to which housewife you would like to film with the least?
It's so many of housewives.
I know.
It's about 100 of us.
That is
if not more.
And growing.
And growing, because Rhode Island is coming.
Yep.
I've made iconic moments with Portia, with Nene, with Sheree. I mean, just so many. So I don't know if you could just say a line because there's so many. But when you cross over, I've had moments with, I just shot something with Melissa Gorga.
Oh, love
I mean,
Melissa. You know who I loved watching you with?
Brandy Glanville.
How did you know I was going to say it?
That's my girl, Scorpio.
How did you know I was going to say it?
Scorpio.
You two were the most iconic
Hilarious.
duo. I'm sorry, you guys.
I love Brandy
unmatched.
Glanville.
It was
That is my girl.
Matched.
I don't care what anybody says. Brandy is my girl. I love her. I'm gonna stick beside her.
You two made that entire series for me.
Oh
it
my God, it was
incredible watching you guys.
From the lesbian eyebrows, that was the funniest. I have never laughed so hard myself.
I have a game that I wanted to play called Name That Read. That's one of my quotes. Literally, what made you think the lady was a lesbian? Her eyebrows.
I was like, is it the arch? Is it scraggly hair? Are they too thick? What makes your eyebrows make you a lesbian?
She is crazy. She is crazy. It was so good though. And then everyone was questioning, like, do my eyebrows? Am I a lesbian?
Yeah, am I getting a lesbian eyebrows? I don't need to get a wax.
I've never heard of that in my entire life.
That was so funny.
It was so good.
I mean, yeah, Brandy's hilarious.
If you had to represent one housewife in court, who would you never want to represent? Because it would just be too messy.
Hell, that's a few of them. I mean, if they had the money to pay my retainer, I would represent anybody. I don't give a who. If you got
She said,
money,
run me that check.
Run me the check, and
I will
make
be
it
your
work.
attorney.
No checks left behind.
But my dad, still to this day, you ever gonna go to law school? And I'm like, Dad, let it go.
You're like, I'm a millionaire now.
Let it go.
I'm okay. I don't need to do that.
Millionaire. From your mouth to God's ears. Let's manifest, baby. Okay, so speaking of being attorneys, let's make a hypothetical situation here.
Oh Lord.
Say you're on trial.
Well, we ain't gonna say that. The devil is a liar. We come against that. The blood of Jesus will not allow it.
No. This is completely fake.
No. We don't even want that fake scenario.
If you needed an attorney and you had to choose one housewife, even if she's not an attorney, who would you trust that you think could get you?
You know what?
out of this.
I wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be Meredith Marks.
Oh yeah, because she actually is.
She is an attorney.
Is,
You don't want to give a non-attorney, because what law school teaches people is how to think in a certain way.
Right.
You know, and
That's what my dad always
housewives
says to
are
me.
definitely, they're not, you know, the mindset of an attorney is always to analyze and not be reactive.
Right.
And most housewives are pretty reactive.
Right.
Hence
right.
the, you know, throwing of tables and
Iconic, but yes.
pulling of wigs, you know. Yeah, so it would have to be Meredith Marks.
I feel like what you just said with not being so reactive is what you used in Traitors
Definitely.
to play the game. Tell me about your experience on Traitors.
Best experience I've ever had in television.
Really?
Hands down.
Really? What made it so incredible?
Well, because, okay, so I have to go back a little bit. I was having what I call my year of yes. One of my good friends, Robert, down in New Orleans, had said, Phaedra, you got to have a year of just saying yes.
Right.
And to see what the universe does. And so internally things were happening. And I got the call from Sharon Vaughn, who at that time was over Peacock's, you know, Unscripted. Now
right.
she is our president. Congratulations, Sharon Vaughn.
Wow. Shout out Sharon.
Bravo is NBC Universal is heavy on the women right now. I love it.
that.
I love it. Nothing like vaginal power.
Yes, baby.
Just
Vaginal. We
that
love
estrogen just.
we love vaginas in this house.
I love them.
Not to do anything with them, but we just love them.
At no point did she tell me about all the water activities. You know, pulling rocks up a hill for 3 miles.
They make you go through it, and you weren't expecting all of that.
Heck no. I mean, because I was just thinking about my outfits and coming down that staircase.
Yeah.
Dynasty 2.0.
The fur,
Yeah.
please. Yes, giving luxury in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was not thinking about going through a room with maggots and
Oof.
snakes and rats.
You killed it though. You were the fan favorite on
God.
Traitors. I mean, let's just be
Thank
honest.
you.
Let's just be
Thank you.
honest. Phaedra was the best part of that show. I said it here first, everyone.
But I had so much fun.
Yes.
And I didn't know any of those gamers.
So yeah,
So
that
I
was your
walked
first time
in,
meeting all these people.
I knew none of those people. CT got in the car with me, and I thought he was the mechanic because my car kept breaking down because, you know, we have those G-Wagons, and it kept breaking down.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they put the mechanic in the car with me so I can make it safely. Then he's like, no, I'm playing the
He's
game.
like, I'm on the show too.
Yeah. I mean, but when I tell you the friendships that I made,
That was gonna be my next question.
oh my God, I talk to Peter all the time.
Wow.
I talked to Janelle last week. I talked to Sandra all the time. Even Dan, you know, Dirty Dan. I don't talk to him. I do not talk to him. However, you know, I forgave him.
I do too much because you do too little.
Yeah, that was so crazy. He ruined my whole game.
So
Had
good.
he not done that, I probably, you know, might have had a chance to win. But
One of the most iconic reads though. Truly. Sorry, Dan. She ate you up with that one.
it's like, oh my God. And I was so worried about Dan because I knew he was, you know, on the chopping block, and everyone thought he was so weird.
Right.
And I was like, he's not weird. He's just strange.
Yeah, he's just Dan.
Yeah, he's just like, just really strange. I mean, you know, and I was like, just because you're strange doesn't mean you're a traitor. It just
Right.
means you're weird.
Right. Did you have an initial strategy going into Traitors? Who did you find to be your biggest threat in the game?
Looking back, you get to see what people were doing behind your back.
Right, when you watch it back.
But when
yeah.
you're there, you don't know.
Did someone surprise you?
Trishelle!
Wow, yeah.
Trishelle was
Yes.
dagging me in the back the whole time and coming and doing Bible study with me in the morning.
And you really had no idea?
No.
Wow.
She was always telling me, I never win anything and I just need to win. And in my mind, I was like, God, I want her to win.
Yeah. You're like, you know,
So
I feel
sweet. I
feel
want her.
bad for-
I
yes.
like the underdogs. I was like,
Yeah.
This lady's got to win because she, you know, she hasn't won. And the whole time she's like, she's a traitor. And I was like, oh my God.
Who
When I saw
knew?
it back, I was
Right.
like, what?
Uh-huh. So she was the biggest undercover threat.
She was knifing me the whole time. But I even I was in she's from New Orleans. And
Yeah.
so when I was down for Mardi Gras, yeah, we, got together. So that
Yeah, and how was that?
Good.
Good.
Trishelle is hilarious. But I did not know she was trying to kill me the whole time.
I do want to talk about a recent event that's happened that was a little unfortunate and sad with Brittany Eady. What happened with them showing what Kenya did at the event. Just a little unfortunate that happened.
Definitely. What I always tell people is this is for entertainment. Hopefully no one joins any franchise with the thoughts of destroying anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
You know, it's unfortunate when crazy stuff happens.
Yeah. Have you spoken with Britt?
Yeah. You know, we text.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. And wish her nothing but the best.
Me too.
Yes. You once said you're too blessed to be stressed. But what was the last thing that really tested your patience?
Something tests my patience every single day. But I guess
Same, sister. Same.
every day something tests you, but I think it's how you handle it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things that you can't control, you can't control.
Right. And you're very good, like you said, at not being so reactionary and being able to analyze something first.
And, you know, if you're going to pray about something, you can't worry about it.
I love that.
So that's always, you know, if I pray about it, I have to let it go and let God do what he needs to do.
Right. I got to be more like you and not be so reactionary sometimes, but I think it's the cancer in me.
No, yeah, y'all was so sensitive.
I'm a sensitive little baby. And I wouldn't say, I'm not reactionary in a angry way by any means. Just reactionary in it consumes me.
Yeah.
If something stresses me out, it consumes me so much and I wear my heart on my sleeve. I can't hide it.
Yeah, but you gotta not do that.
How do you not do it? It's so hard.
You know what, I always tell people, even when you don't like something, revenge is best served cold. So sometimes you have to let things just play out.
Right. So then how do you deal with that internally? Because my anxiety goes so crazy, Phaedra.
Yeah, you need a lion's mane. Give me a lion's mane.
She's been talking about lion's mane since she got here.
Give him some ashwagandha.
So what haven't you done yet that is still on your bucket list?
What have I not done that I wanted to do? Not much.
I know, you're doing it
Because
all.
anything I wanted to do, I have manifested it. But you know what I do love, and a lot of people don't know this, politics.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really haven't done that I used to say I would do.
So we're running for...
Nothing just yet.
Just yet. But
that is definitely, that's something on the list that I haven't done.
Wow.
But I love politics. I love politicians.
Well, you know you have my vote.
Ooh, amen.
Even if I can't vote in Atlanta, I'll figure it out.
Come out
We'll
here.
figure something. Yeah. Hello. Please, I would love if you moved here. I would love if you moved here. We would have so much fun.
I know.
And you've got two beautiful boys, Aiden and Dylan.
Yes.
What do they think about their mommy being a reality TV icon?
They don't see me as an icon. They don't even
They
really
see you
think
as
that
their mom,
I'm
of course.
famous. Like my son asked me to stand in line for a church service the other day, and I was like, that could be dangerous. And I said, I'm gonna call the pastor and see if I can get us in. Because and he was like, why can't we just stand in line with everybody else for 2 hours?
Like, Mom, come on.
I was like,
Let's
that
do
would
it.
be
What are you
weird.
talking about, Mom?
It would be just like crazy. So
Right.
they don't, and I guess because they've been around it. And of course, you never see your parents for what the community sees your parents as.
Of course.
You know, but yeah, they don't even see it like that.
I love that, though.
So I'm like,
Those are your babies. They're like,
Yeah.
no, this is my mom.
people will come up to me and they're just like, why are they acting like that? And I'm like, I'm a sort of a big deal to certain people. They're like, why? I was
Like, Mom, we don't get it.
yeah,
What's happening?
they don't get it.
Let's
So
go
they're
stand in
just
line
like,
at church service. Come on. You're being dramatic. What do you think that your two boys have taught you the most about yourself?
Oh, Lord. That patience is a virtue. But I mean, children will teach you unconditional love. It's the hardest job.
Right.
You don't know what your results are gonna be. There's no handbook for it.
That
You know, so I think every parent struggles with, okay, number one, I want to see them, you know, as adults.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Lord, don't let anything happen to me until I get them in their adulthood, you know, because that's every mom's prayer. Like, I got to see my kids grown. But then at the same time, you're like, I want to give them experiences that inspire them to do things and expose them to things.
Yeah.
But also, you don't want them to be spoiled, and you want them to understand good work ethic. So it's an interesting balance.
Yeah. Tell me about Granada. And tell me about Jab Jab. Because That
Was so good.
That was insane.
No, it was so good.
The scene with the stripper, the guy who, and you were
He
like,
is not a stripper.
who was that guy?
We don't know who that man was. We do not know that man.
You said, I think we're all gonna be pregnant by the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was just some jab genius, I guess. I don't know what you call the jab master. But Grenada was so fun. I think
looked
hands
incredible.
down, those 2 episodes are the best of the season.
Yeah.
Because it was light, it was fun, little drama, but a lot of fun.
You guys look like you were having the time of
I was
your
having the
lives.
time of my life.
Yeah.
The men were so strong.
They were sexy too. Are we in a relationship? I didn't even ask you.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know what's
yeah,
happening
yeah,
with your
I'm
love life.
dating. Yeah.
You are. Wait, are we like?
No, I'm not
taken?
serious.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You got somebody for me?
Maybe.
gonna
I
look it up.
am a great. I want everyone to know I'm a great wingman. I really am.
Well, you need to hook it up.
You come out here. You just gotta tell me what you're into and your type.
Ooh, I'm a DEI employer.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
like it all.
We like it all. Same. I'll be your little matchmaker. I got you. Out of all these shows and everything, what would you say is your favorite to be a part of?
Traitors.
Wow,
Hands
Traitors,
down,
hands
Traitors.
down. Hands down,
Hands down,
Traitors.
Traitors.
That is
Hands down.
so cool.
No
That is so cool.
comparison to it. Nothing compares to it.
Wow. And so being back now on season 16 of Real Housewives, do you think moving forward you want to continue to be back and keep it going? And
I'm back. I am all in. I'm going to make sure
Phaedra,
that
thank
we
you.
bring it back
Thank you.
number one.
Phaedra, I mean, that makes me so
We gotta
happy.
bring it back. You know, I
'Cause-
did a lot in 10 days, but give me 3 months.
I mean, I'm watching every episode. When you told me that you were coming back, I was like, thank you. Thank you. My girl is back. I need her. I want to play a quick game before we go called Name That Read. So I'm going to say one of your iconic quotes, and I want you to tell me who you said it to and where and when. Just give a little context.
Lord.
But I've already said a lot of them because we were just like naturally talking about it. So I'm kind of annoyed because they just like came up because they're just too good. Okay, first one. I do too much because you do too little.
That would
one's
be
too easy.
Traitors.
Too
Dan.
easy.
Very extra,
Okay.
baby. I do too much because you do too little.
To buy him a medium-sized pizza so you can have a kid. Now check that.
That was Reunion with Kenya
Oh.
Moore.
Ooh. And then she turned, moved her dress and turned the other way. Oh!
Paddling through sperm banks, looking through catalogs to try to find the donor. Honey, you don't know if your baby daddy will be an axe murderer or a child molester, because what you will know is that he needed $10 to get him a medium-sized pizza, so he ejaculated in a cup so you could have a kid. Now check that.
This one, which also, this one's recently gone viral on TikTok.
Ooh.
No, because she's much older than me. Okay, well, you know what? Congratulations. Happy birthday.
That was Nene, season 3 reunion.
We weren't
I'm
in
43 to be exact. I'm 43 to be
Okay.
exact.
All right, well,
Actually, I just turned 43.
Okay, well, congratulations. Happy birthday.
Have you seen people doing those
Oh
TikToks?
my gosh. Yeah, so people were sending it to me and I
It
was
is
dying laughing.
Incredible, because the trend is you and your friend and say your friend is 1 month older than you. And you're like, no, because she's much older than me. Oh, I love this one. That lady could be your mama. You can't do that. No, she's only 5 years older than me. Oh, really? My bad.
That was me and Brandy Glanville talking about Dorinda, Ultimate Girls Trip 3.
That lady could be your mama. You can't do that.
No, she's only 5 years older than me.
For real?
See, this is why I love you and Brandy. It was those little moments.
That was,
And
Yeah.
because her and Dorinda just got
oh
into
my
it a little
gosh,
bit.
that was
It
hilarious.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
Because
I
you were
was
rubbing
like-
her. You were like, baby, you can't say
Yes,
that.
yeah, you
She'd be your mother. I haven't called you a whore at all this year. I called you Satan, but not a whore.
That was in Thailand to Kenya Moore. I think that was season 5 or 6.
I called you a whore this year at all. Not once. I called you Satan, but I didn't call you a whore.
We said this one. What made you think the lady was a lesbian? Her eyebrows.
Yeah, her eyebrows. Ultimate Girls Trip, Brandy Glanville, season 3.
What made you think the lady was a lesbian?
Her eyebrows.
This is not The Bachelor, and I do not have to kiss your ass for a rose.
That would be Peter, Pilot Peter, Traitors, season 3.
We love Pilot Pete.
What you might have forgot, Peter, is this is not The Bachelor, and I don't have to kiss your ass for a rose.
And I said this one too. Phaedra, we've said all of these. I don't know, she's just not normal. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
That was Kenya Moore. I think that might have been season
That was early on.
4.
I don't know, she's just not normal. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
I am so happy that you came on Carter's Cocktails. This was a long time
I
coming.
feel like I should be honored to be here because
What?
you have interviewed Oprah.
Oh, right. That did happen. That did happen, yes.
Obama.
Obama.
How did you get that interview? Like, you are so iconic.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, that was surreal. He told me a few artists, and then I told him a few artists that he didn't know about, and it was just the coolest experience ever.
What has been your favorite interview of all times?
This one right here.
Oh,
with
well,
Miss Phaedra
honey,
Parks.
I'm winning. Honey.
Boom! Look at that.
I'm winning. We got to end on that note.
I am so happy to call you a friend.
I know,
And
I love you.
I love you so much, and thank you for doing this with me, and cheers to many more times together and memories and
dating.
Dating, that part is
Y'all heard
happening.
it. He better set me up with somebody.
Watch it. By next time, you guys, she's gonna be dating an incredibly beautiful bachelor, and you can thank
That's wealthy.
me. That's very wealthy. Yes, that part. Love you.